Welcome to Papa Junk Shop. Oil cooler finally got here. Ordered it on Amazon. You can find the same thing for the same price on eBay, but I figured Amazon was easier to deal with in case we had a hiccup. There's a bunch of them. They all look alike, but they got different flow rates. This one is 25 point something liters per minute, which is what the pump is on these, so I'm told. I didn't get the one with the case on it. I think the ones with the case on, I don't know, they're about 20 bucks more. But it didn't seem like it was necessary. And overall, it looks pretty good. I mean, you know, it's China. And it said that the motor used 34 watts, and this motor says it uses 16. So that part of it wasn't truthful, which is a good thing because we don't have a lot of extra power available on these anyways, and it still moves a lot of air. I hooked it up on my power supply at 12 volts, and it blew a considerable amount of air. I've already got it chipped up a little bit where I've been fitting it in there. The paint doesn't stick on that aluminum very well, apparently. And as you can see, it doesn't set flat. That's because this fan shroud has got screws holding it on, and they stick down below. So I'm going to look through my collection, see if I got some countersunk screws that I can stick in there so that sets flat. We'll do something, get it set flat. Good. Anyways, that's it. And I've been working on some things to hook it up. Let's see, how am I going to get that? I'll set it like that. Okay. So what I've done is I've removed my return line from the filter, and I removed the fitting, and this is the original fitting for the hose. So that I'm going to use on the cooler, and to use it on the cooler I had to make this. This is a T I found in my pipe collection, and it's 3/4 here. It's what, 1/4 inch here, and I think half here. So I had to put it in the lathe and make this nice flat surface, because this seals with a flat O-ring type thing right here. So that's going to go into there, like so. And in this port here, I took a pipe plug and I drilled and tapped it for 10 millimeters. Which my temperature sensor goes in. So that's going to go here. And then this side will go into the cooler. Now for the filter side, I'm using 5/8 copper tubing. I mean, this is the low pressure side, and I happen to have all this stuff. I'm glad I did, because when I went to the hardware store to look at it, it's pretty pricey. So this is 3/4 inch pipe thread, and that screws in to this filter just like it was made for it. So in the lathe, I turned this down flat, this surface where this O-ring is going to go, and then I cut a little relief after the threads, and on the internal side I had to shorten the threads up just a little and turn a little bit of a relief there. So this is going to go right here. Just like that. So on the cooler end, I've got this. This is for the other end of the 5/8 inside diameter tubing. And what this is I had a T. This used to be on there. So I took the bandsaw and cut it off. Cleaned it up on the lathe a little bit, drilled it out for pipe thread, which is what this is. So I'll be using a nipple, and that'll go on there. So that's how I'm going to hook it up. And I'll get the tripod and try to show you where I'm going to mount it, which is probably different than the way I've seen anybody else doing it. You got the camera set up here. Hopefully you're going to be able to see, but my plan is to right here. There's just enough clearance between the gas tank and this framework. Well, I put some screws back in there to show you guys if they stick out. I'll say, why is that way? Get them back on there. Anyways, plan on it being right there. Anywhere else I put it, the original hose doesn't cooperate, so I'd have to get a replacement hose, which I don't want to do. And some people are putting them over there on that side, and I don't think that it's a good idea to have that warm air going in to the intake to the engine. And I'm not sure if this one is reversible. There's no paperwork comes with it, and I didn't think that I wanted to try it because these type motors usually aren't. But anyways, if I put it here, I'll have air coming in. Even though this air will be warm, it'll be blowing towards this big vent area, and some of this air is going to help bring this hot air out here. At least that's my theory. But I will have to cut a hole in this front panel for the air to come in, which this time I will be defacing my unit. But hopefully I can make it nice and neat. Originally I got a square hole punch, and originally I thought I could put some nice square holes, you know, make it look like a factory vent. But when I figured it out, it was going to be like 60 some holes, And I thought, oh, America, working in that small space, and them things aren't real friendly. And if I don't have them all exactly lined up, it's not going to look right. So I think I'm just going to wind up cutting the square hole out. And I've got some expanded metal that I think will look nice. So that's my plan. I got clearance here for everything. And let me take you off the truck. And as you can see, this return line will just go right from here over to here. So that should be real easy. So I'm going to get started on carving things up and getting her in there. So hopefully I'll remember to show you guys along the way as I'm going. Okay, this oil cooler install is getting complicated. It's probably not something that anybody else is going to want to do it this way, but that's the way I do things. So I got marked out here where I need to cut out. Well, when that's on the machine, it's right there, and you can't get anything in there to work with. So I got looking at it and take a few bolts out and disconnect the battery master switch there. Take the seat off. This comes right off. Enough slack on all the wiring and stuff. These cables, they're all free yet. So I got her clamped in place on this framework. If anybody wants to see more of the insides, there you go. One thing, I'm going to know my machine. So now I can get at this and cut it out. Hopefully not butcher it up. So thought I'd better let you guys in on what all is happening. See you in a bit. Now I use the old DeWalt saber saw. Cut the hole out. Just got a little bit of touch-up work with a file. I drilled half-inch holes in the corners. Thought it might look a little nicer with it, with a rounded corner. So sure made a mess, but so a little bit of cleanup work. And I put duct tape on the bottom table of the saw, thinking that it would keep it from scratching, but I think it gathered the chips and drug them along with it, so gonna have to do a little touch-up work, I guess. Okay, while I had that tipped up, it was real easy to get to the electrical, so it comes with a connector. So I added on a couple of pieces of wire, and the connector plugs into that. So I got it temporary in place just to make sure everything is still okay. And that's what it looks like from the front side. I put a piece of expanded metal in here, and it's pinched in between these angle iron pieces here. So I think it's going to be okay, and it shouldn't restrict the air much. I put it in front of it, had it hooked up to the power supply, and I couldn't really tell with or without that screen if it made any difference. So shouldn't restrict anything, and it should be able to protect the fins on the cooler. You know, I got excited and forgot to turn camera back on. Got her all in, and took it out and drove it down the driveway and back up, and the oil temperature went up about 10 degrees. So they do create some heat, and it's only probably in the 40s today. So I think it's going to be beneficial. And it does pretty good. I'll turn the I fixed it so when the key is on, that it comes on. In other words, if the engine's running and the fan's blowing. And it does blow air right towards the back, And it goes right in through this muffler deal just like I wanted. So I'm happy with that part of it. And we're not using already warm air to try to cool the oil. We're getting it fresh from the outside. So it was quite a bit more work doing it this way, but I think I like it. So I still got some neatening up to do. Got to tidy up the wiring and all that kind of stuff. But all my homemade fittings and stuff seem to be doing okay. So if you run into issues, I'll let you know. Turn that back off. So if you enjoyed this one, give me a thumbs up, and haven't subscribed, want to see some more stuff, I'm gonna be doing a few more things, probably mostly accessories, probably a few little things, but I ought to be able to get it put back together now that I got this done. And concentrate on, I'm gonna try to make a, I don't know if you'd call it a brush mower, a giant weed eater maybe, to go on the arm to mow around, like down in my ditch and that kind of stuff. I haven't seen anybody else do one. Maybe there is. I seen a guy take one of those DR trimmers and adapt it so he could put it on the end, but gotta mess around starting the engine and all that stuff. I want mine to run on hydraulic off the auxiliary. I'm gonna try. Might be a failure, but hey, you won't know unless you try. So thanks for watching. See you next time.